Good day, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing good. How was your Thanksgiving? Let me know how your Thanksgiving was in the chat. We've got a couple of videos today for all of you. A couple of topics. A little bit of an update on the National Guard attack. Unfortunately, one of the female officer has passed away. I was not surprised to hear that. He shot her in the head at point blank. Surprised she was around as long as she was. Not that I wasn't hoping for the best. But I just was not optimistic about that. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Where's the fire? Oh. Well, it burnt out. It burnt brightly. I think at some point in the middle of the night, there was like 5,000 people watching still. Just kind of bonkers. To be totally honest with you. Kind of bonkers. We'll do another one for Christmas. Fat and happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was all right here. Pretty low key. Made steak instead of turkey. Burnt the steaks. Well, I didn't really burn them, but like I overcooked them. I like medium rare. They were definitely medium. But there's a few things to talk about today, and then we'll get on enjoying everybody let people enjoy their weekends, get after it. We obviously have a lot to talk about here. Doobie-doobie-doo. Before we get started, just a quick word from Morgan & Morgan. If you're in an accident or injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. That's why I'm so glad to have this video sponsor Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Just in the past couple of months, Morgan & Morgan saw verdicts of $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer, and $6.8 million in New York, 25 times the highest insurance offer. Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. Fighting big companies takes a big law firm. As America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan are ready to take on insurance companies of all sizes. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all from your smartphone. And remember, size matters. Morgan & Morgan is big. They're America's largest injury law firm. That means they have the resources to fight to get you the best results, and they're capable of spending millions on a case to see it through. Did you know you can start a claim with America's largest injury law firm in just one click? It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/quartering or click the link in the description down below. All right, let's get to this Trump tweet, which is kind of bonkers. He calls Tim Walz retarded, which is kind of hilarious. This, I believe, came in response to the National Guardswoman passing away. It's just my guess. I think that Trump has kind of had enough. I had that stuck in my head all day yesterday. Oh, doobie doobie doo. Well, it gets in there a little bit, hangs out. I mean, it's not like I was playing, what's this one? I mean, this one will really get in your head. I think Vindaloo Singh. Oh, remix. Nah.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling a ring a ting a ting a ling a too. Ring a ling a ling a ding dong.
I have a strong suspicion that this guy is not Indian. I just have I have a strong suspicion. You know, I could be wrong, but I just have this weird feeling that this dude is not Indian. It's just a feeling I have. I don't know that for sure. I have a feeling. Here is the Trump tweet. A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world, for being, quote, politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, and drug cartels. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic Americans who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened in this country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 a year in yearly benefits for their family. The real migrant population is much higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, and it's something that did not exist after World War II. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both. While the worst congresswoman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, who probably came into the U.S. illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country. I mean, damn. Damn, Trump. Damn, Trump. Trump does not give one single F anymore. And I think that that's, a big part of that is, having the National Guard that he deployed have one of them murdered. That's kind of my opinion. I think that he just, he probably feels some kind of way about that. That's my guess anyway. But this is the Trump that I voted for. This is dark MAGA. This is Trump after getting shot. But a lot of people are blackpilled, and they'll comment and say, he'll post stuff like this and then do nothing. I don't think that that's crazy for people to feel that way, because Trump does do this a lot. He knows what we want, but then I think he finds out it's not so easy, or whatever the situation is, I don't know. I don't know. But then he just doesn't follow through, and then people get kind of blackpilled. I definitely understand why people feel that way. But I'm hoping that, Trump is and will kind of just come around here a little bit and realize that he needs to be a little bit more like, I don't know, he needs to be a little bit more authoritarian. He needs to get like the National Guard fully deployed, and he needs to stop dicking around. At least that's my opinion. You know, he's got to stop dicking around. He's got to get these National Guard people deployed, and he's got to get after it. How was everybody's Thanksgiving yesterday? Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-dong-ding. Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-dong-ding. Yeah, he can't do it alone. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, he needs to get going. That's true. Going into Thanksgiving, one thing that, not a lot of people are talking about anymore is the kind of the massive increase in conservatism across these college campuses and even high schools in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination on September 10th. And many colleges are trying, pathetically, but they are trying to prevent this, from happening. And one or two bad actors are kind of all it takes to derail a lot of these new TPOSA chapters. And we had a trans individual drop a Taco Bell attack. Yes, yesterday, caught live on tape. And that is something that, well, only the quartering brings to you here. But I want to get into that after a super quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Black Forest Supplements. This video is about their new high flavanol cocoa. The cocoa powder does three things that they'll charge you 10 grand for, but the FDA approved it, so they're screwed. 1, it releases stem cells from your bone marrow. 2, it makes you 27% harder to kill. 3, it floods everything with nitric oxide. It's like going to the clinic and ordering an entire menu with stem cell therapy as a cherry on top, but chocolate, and it costs a fraction of the price. And if you think I'm exaggerating, listen to this. Dr. Simon Mills, one of the top herbal medicine researchers in the world.
Dark chocolate is a medicine, end of. One of the best medicines around is 50 grams, 100 grams of 75% or more dark chocolate. Brain health as well, cardiovascular health. They do studies where they've put cocoa into volunteers, that means students usually, so young kids, and they were able to show changes in the blood flow within minutes, certainly within an hour of eating cocoa. Beneficial changes in your blood flow.
They call it the heart medicine.
Yeah, heart, circulation, brain, but it also, of course, we know it contains a few other beneficial stimulating effects, sort of similar to the effects of coffee, which incidentally, as I've already said, is a medicine as well. But cocoa and chocolate does have an uplifting effect, which is why we love it so.
That's right, dark chocolate. But here's where people get it wrong. It's the flavanols. The part that actually does anything, it gets destroyed when the chocolate is processed. Regular chocolate has 50 milligrams of dead flavanols. This Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder has 1,200 milligrams of pharmaceutical extracted flavanols. Normally, you can't claim benefits in the supplement world, but this, the FDA signed off on a health claim saying that cocoa flavanols support heart health and reduce cardiovascular risk. And trust me, I don't care much about the FDA, but the evidence on this stuff was so strong they couldn't ignore it. Black Forest takes the finest cocoa, they extract the flavanols, they concentrate it into this made right here in the USA. Black Forest just launched their biggest deal of the year, and it's insane. Buy one, get one free on the entire store, plus an extra bottle of free NMN with every order. Yes, every single order gets a bonus NMN on top of the full buy one, get one. This ends in 48 hours, and when it's over, it's gone for good. Cocoa prices have been skyrocketing worldwide over the last few months, so I don't expect prices to be this cheap ever again. So if you've been thinking about it, act now. Once 48 hours passes, the promo is going to be gone and prices will go up again. Stock up before it's gone forever. All right. Well, shout out to Black Forest. So Fort Lewis College has unanimously approved a TPUSA chapter following backlash after initially rejecting. They initially rejected this, by the way. Here was their rejection.
Is navigating a difficult decision. One remained.
Look who's here, somebody with brightly colored hair and a bunch of women. Men need to get more involved in like their campus type, politics.
Many of our morals and ideals must be pushed to the side within the interests of the student body. Our policies, our expectations for our table work through viewpoint neutrality, which requires us to set aside our own viewpoints and the base of our decisions on outline policy, values, and feedback from the student body of that of which we serve. In light of the opinions and concerns shared to us today by both sides of the discussion, with a vote in favor, opposed, and no abstentions, we have decided to deny Turning Point USA's request to become an RSO1 at this time.
So those people cheering are a bunch of libs that had it's so crazy that these college campuses allow literal communist, Marxist groups, aggressive, violent people to form these groups. And then the reason they really deny them is because, these people that look like this individual with brightly colored hair, they terrorize. And most people just don't want to deal with it.
The students and the community members who currently make up the body of Turning Point USA will be free to use campus resources through a different avenue in Skyhook. As all public and community groups are free.
Again, this is why this university obviously received funding, but so then this was back on October 30th when this happened. This went very wildly viral because, it's a university that receives taxpayer funds. Well, now, as an update, we have this.
USA to be considered as an RSO1, that's by SR 25-20.
Notice the brightly colored hair person isn't there again?
By the table, there has been voted in 6 yeas and 0 nays. So by unanimous consent, Turning Point USA has been reached RSO1 status and approved by Fort Lewis College.
Get wrecked! Yeah!
USA.
So these people, they never really, had any spine whatsoever. So now a non-binary student at the college hit an elderly man who was celebrating the TPUSA chapter being approved. Again, it's always it seems like trans individuals, I can't say for sure, but it sure seems like it. It seems like it's always kind of the same people. It's always the same person. So here we have, here's a police officer and of course a potato camera of this trans individual. Get wrecked. Now let's see if we have any better footage of the Taco Bell attack. College student whacks elderly man with Taco Bell cup after school's TPA USA chapter gets approved. A Colorado college student was detained by a police officer earlier this morning after striking an elderly man during a campus meeting about approving a Turning Point USA chapter. Again, these colleges allow Marxism, they allow communism, they allow trans groups, they allow gay groups, LGBT groups, liberal groups, Democrat groups, socialist groups, a single conservative group, and there's people getting physically attacked. Fort Lewis College campus police report student Megan Elizabeth Hope Mullet, 4 names, I was caught on camera and detained by police after hitting a local resident, David Peters, who is celebrating the TPUSA chapter approved back on November 7th. The incident occurred after the Associated Students Fort Lewis voted to approve TPUSA chapter in an emergency meeting. Their decision came after they previously rejected the senior Jonah Fillin's proposal to register the group, which had sparked controversy across the campus. The police report was filed as harassment, and Mullet was let off with just a warning. See, this is the problem. Let off with a warning this time. And what's going to happen? Now they're going to come back to the school in 6 months with, and mow people down. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I do know that in nearly every case of attacks, these people are let off with no consequences. And how can you expect people to change their behavior when they don't have any consequences? That's my issue. The male pulled out his phone and began recording the student with his phone approximately a foot away from the student's face. The male was identified as Dave Peters, and the student, who appears female but was later identified as Megan Millette, who goes by Nova and identifies as they, them, began to strike Peters' phone and hand with a Taco Bell cup after he approached with his phone in his hand. Peters, the former chair of La Placer County GOP and retired executive at Chevron Corporation, told Fox News Digital on Monday that he didn't want to press charges against them, but he did want the university to take disciplinary action. Well, it sounds like maybe you were provoking them. Maybe you were provoking them a little bit. But the problem is with a lot of people on the right is that they're constantly trying to take the high ground. That's why I'm Team Low Road. This guy should press charges, and he should also sue in civil court for emotional distress and physical distress after being brutally attacked. That's what the left would do, right? After adjourning the meeting, the people started walking out. About 20 of us started clapping, and then there's a fair amount of students who were booing, Peter said. Then right after that, there was a 55, 60-year-old guy that later found out he was a former professor at Fort Lewis College. He started to come up to me and he said, "You're a Nazi, you're a fascist," and kept on repeating that. Peters was referring to David Kozak, a retired Fort Lewis professor, who's up. Don't these people have anything better to do with their time? Don't you find yourself saying that a lot of times with this nonsense? Like, I just find a lot of this not like, don't you have anything at all better to do with your time? You're 70 years old and you're attending some stupid college meeting. You don't even go to that school. You're not even employed by that school anymore. So this person attacked somebody. They're trans or they, them. Who's surprised? But again, I want to implore people on the right that they should be pressing charges for emotional damage. They should be pressing charges. They should be suing them in civil court. Because if you aren't doing your job and helping provide consequences for these people, then the next time it won't be a Taco Bell cup, it'll be a brick. And the next time after it's a brick and they don't get consequences, what will it be? We've seen this far, far too many times. So I hope they'll reconsider and decide to press some charges. But that's just my opinion. I'll be looking forward to yours in the comment section down below. General Kyle says, your opinion on the college issue. They don't have kids. They turn ours into commies. This will continue to be an issue as long as colleges are boot camps for leftists. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Don't ask me a damn thing. Says, sorry, I've been gone for a while. Missed you, man. Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Like, all these dorks that are like, that don't go to these schools shouldn't be allowed on the campus. That's kind of my opinion. Like, why are we even allowing these people on the campus? You know what I mean? Why are we don't even allow it. Hickory says there's a ton of professional students who live off their parents and government, especially true for females and LGBTQ. They get a million useless degrees. That's true. That's true. Do, 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 do. Where was Luke on Wednesday? I gave everybody off Wednesday. It was the day before Thanksgiving. Right? Mm-hmm. Today is another big day out here. We are setting up all of our Christmas decorations. Should I do a chill stream later? Play some Arc Raiders and decorate the Christmas tree? That'd probably be tonight, though. You guys know I'm pretty in and out on Fridays. I hear those sleigh bells ring-a-ling, ding, ding, ding-a-ling-do. I just got to join 10 minutes late every stream for everyone watching on Rumble so I can skip the damn sponsors. It's like paying for cable again. Well, you're not paying me any money, so I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be an asshole, but like, I don't know. It looks like maybe you're Rumble Premium, so maybe that's why you're mad. I guess I could hear that, but like, you know, I gotta pay the bills too. You know, get yourself a Big Mac after the stream. No, I have to eat leftovers. I have like half a steak. I'm gonna try to reheat the steak in the air fryer. I'll probably be okay, huh? You're pretty in and out every day. Yeah, probably. My husband owns a tech company our son wants to work for, and he won't need college. It's more hands-on learning. He is 11, already knows more about it than the average person. That's good. That's your kid's lucky. Right. I've got some Walmart stories, which are always great. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. Do 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 do. Ring ding a ding a ling ding dong ding dong. Ding a ding ding a dong ding a ding dong ding. I'll get JG. I would love JG Wentworth as a sponsor. The snow is supposed to hit us tomorrow, I think. They said between 6 and 8 inches tomorrow. I was supposed to take my wife to, what do they call it? Cirque du Soleil. But we'll see about the weather. We'll see about the weather. Don't forget to pick up your gift boxes today, by the way. They're 10% off with promo code HOLIDAY10. You grill a steak and don't care if it's leftover, it's man cooked. So just put it back on the grill. I mean, I'm fine with that too. Just throw it back on the grill. I guess it'd probably make less of a mess. Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say about our Black Friday stuff is the Trump cookbooks at thequartering.com/shop. Today's the last day. I'm shutting off sales on them. We sold like 200 or something already, and my wife and I have to pack them all this weekend. So if you want, they're 50% off, and once they're gone, they're gone. They're great for white elephant gifts, for gifts at the office, for your dad, your uncle. The recipes are great. They're 50% off. They're like $20 instead of 30 or $40 now. Thequartering.com/shop. I'm shutting it down at the end of the day today because my wife and I have to get packing them all. And over on Coffee Brand Coffee, if you go to Christmas gifts, coffeebrandcoffee.com, promo code HOLIDAY10, you get 10% off your choice of the 2025 edition advent calendar, which is all new flavors. Our holiday gift box, which is real cacao cocoa, peppermint bark, chocolate covered espresso beans, our medium roast, and the gold scooper. Or the Kona stocking bundle, which is the gold scooper. It comes shipped in a stocking with peppermint bark. 10% off with promo code HOLIDAY10. There's only 500 of those. Once those are gone, they're gone. And You know, that's, I mean, the email's going on. There's 27 people on the site right now, 10 people currently checking out. So they're going to go. Packing 200 of them. Yeah. My wife's pretty good. She can do probably 50 cookbook, 50 an hour. So she'll do them all in an afternoon. But we have to get them all done before, you know, she's down for all of December and January. So that's why I have to end it a little early. So we'll get them all done, and whatever we sold, we sold. It's helping pay for her surgery, which is great. And the gift boxes we already packed them all. 1,500 of them are already done. So we just have to stick labels on them. Got a plan. We planned ahead for the surgery, you know, got everything done. So we're ready to rock. Yeah, she can ship 50 an hour. That's cookbook in the box, box tape, label on. Takes her about a minute each. Pumpkin soup would be good for the circus. The so gay. Now you could have done better than that. Maggie is a workhorse. No, that's my wife is not Maggie. My wife is Maggie. I had to lay Maggie off. When I tell people that revenue was bad this year, I know people don't give a shit. No one cares about what like content creators complaining about money, but I laid everyone off. You know, my meme guys down to part-time, and Maggie, I had to let her go, and it's back to basically just me. You know, that's what you have to make tough decisions. It sucked, and my office is a mess. I'm buried in boxes. I miss her a lot, but I couldn't afford to keep her anymore. I just couldn't. I kept her as long as I could. I was gonna lay her off in June, and then I kept her until November, and then I gave her 2 months severance. So she's technically still on the payroll for another 2 months, or for another month, but hopefully I can bring her back. But for right now, yes, I did give severance. Yeah. Go Pack Go! What a game yesterday. Love was awesome. Wix was amazeballs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Love throws up too many prayer balls for me, and I want to see him. No more fadeaway throws. He needs to step into the ball and throw it. Yeah, it sucked. Not only that, she's like one of my best friends. So that was a tough layoff, you know. But I had already cut. I used to have 2 editors. I went down to 1 part-timer. You know, I used to have a lot of help. But it's just me. Packers plus the referees are too much for any team. Give me a break. People whining about referees. The Lions get maybe the most favorable calls from the refs other than the Chiefs. And if you're a Lions fan and you're whining and complaining about the ref calls, how about that obvious pass interference on Christian Watson on 3rd and 3 that would have iced the game that they didn't call? You know, like, you know, people want to talk about the timeout false start thing. Well, okay, we don't know what would have happened if, you know, they might have still scored anyway. But on 3rd and 3, their cornerback grabbed his arm the whole way. Should have been an obvious pass interference call. Even the announcer said that. And then, so Detroit got the ball back. So we'll call it even. You know. What software do you use for editing? I really don't have to edit anything. I just kind of cut off the beginning and the end. But I mean, I use Adobe Premiere for that. I'm sure she understands and will be happy to come back. Yeah, she understands. She absolutely understands. And hopefully, like, you know, we'll see. Do you think that this is a result of more USAID money in the market? Oh, no more. Yes, I do think it's part of it. Yeah, I absolutely do think. I do think I do think so. I do think so. Detroit need to grease their light poles because of their fans. No, I don't think so. I think that's more of a New York, Philadelphia thing. Cowboys need to win. Didn't they win yesterday? I thought they beat the Chiefs yesterday. All right, so no coffee brand. Coffee, last video. Ugh. Doobie doobie doo. I know I'm probably just getting a little bit older. I mean, we're all getting older by definition, but I sure do remember when things were a lot better. I actually remember when Black Friday was like this cool tradition where like all the women in my family, we would get the paper. The paper would get delivered on Thanksgiving Day somewhere in the afternoon, like 1, 2 o'clock. Somebody will go down to the mailbox, get the paper. All the women would kind of huddle around it and make a game plan for Black Friday the next day. That was 15 years ago. That was a long time ago. Sometimes I guess as you get older, you forget how long, we're in the internet era. So time passes like so much quicker, but you forget just how long stuff was, but it was a fun day. All the women, they would get coffee, they would go stand in line for crap they don't need. Now Black Friday basically runs the whole, the whole month, and it's not important. And people are getting stabbed and robbed, and Walmart's on complete lockdown, and Walmart customers are melting down. I want to take a look at kind of the sad state of Black Friday. I do have a friend who is a long sponsor of the channel. I want to give him a shout out because I know he was having kind of a tough go of it with tariffs and stuff. But you guys remember Sheath, right? Sheath Underwear. They're a longtime sponsor of the channel. He has a Black Friday sale. I just happened to ask him, and they have a Black Friday sale, promo code BF25 for 40% off. And I absolutely love their products. And ladies out there, for Christmas gifts, for their husbands, like the Sheath product is absolutely amazing. So code BF25 for 40% off. I just wanted to, do some Christmas cheer and shout them out. Fellas, if you need to stock up, their stuff is really good. Bamboo, it keeps you cool, all that kind of stuff. So sheathunderwear.com and promo code BF25. Now, I remember Black Friday at Walmart because I actually worked at Walmart during Black Friday, and I worked in electronics on Black Friday. So I was in the war zone. This is what Black Friday now looks like at Walmart. Everything behind glass. Even headphones that are just $5.99. Everything's locked up. Everything. Now, I don't really think we ever lived... I mean, in the 50s, maybe we had a high trust society. But with the combination of basically the social acceptance of shoplifting, ever since after the lockdowns, ever since after the coof, we just accepted shoplifting. When I worked at Walmart, I worked in the Janesville, Wisconsin Walmart. It's actually a super center now, but I worked there before it was a super center. We actually had a loss prevention officer who was a police officer, and we prosecuted shoplifters. Otherwise, for the most part now, they don't prosecute shoplifters anymore. I couldn't even, when I worked in electronics, we didn't even have most of our video games behind glass. Now, if you want to buy a $5 headphone, you have to locate the one employee that they have working, and they have to unlock it. Like, routers, literally everything's behind glass. $5 headphones behind glass. This says Black Friday at my Walmart. Everything is locked behind glass. Even $5.27 headphones. No one's even here. It's completely empty. When I was growing up, it was packed on Black Friday and nothing was locked up. What happened to America? Well, retailers have also drastically changed kind of how they deal with Black Friday, how they do Black Friday. And so that's part of it. They do a lot of it online. But another big part of it is shoplifting. And probably a lot of the illegals are staying home. I'm not sure. But then look at this. Walmart shoppers rage after waiting for 65-inch mac and cheese box only for it to sell out in seconds. What? What's going on with this? A 65-inch mac and cheese box? This is probably only for TikTok dorks.
65-inch box of mac and cheese on Black Friday. Here I am for scale. They just sent it to me. It's going to be one of the biggest doorbusters of the year.
Oh, yeah. So they're just, yeah, okay. So they promote it ahead of time.
Like what? Wait until you see what's inside here.
I imagine mac and cheese. How many boxes is it?
Yeah, there are 65 boxes of mac and cheese in here. I was not prepared.
That's it? 65 boxes only fit in there? That can't be true. I would think that hundreds of boxes of mac and cheese would fit in there.
Here it is. It's literally the size of a flat screen TV.
There's probably a spacer in there.
65-inch flat screen, it is. Oh my god. As it says on the back, this may be the best Black Friday deal ever. If you're looking to buy it, you can do so. It truly is a doorbuster like the days of old.
Like, I remember, I don't know how much mac and cheese is now, but a box of mac and cheese used to be like 45 or 50 cents. Maybe, I don't know what it is now, $1. But like mac and cheese and like people raging as of Friday morning, a link to the item on the website resulted in a message that said we can't find that page. Yep. Okay. That's sold out. It's sad to say that I stayed up for this. I literally had to work tomorrow. I literally had it in my cart and it sold out while I was hitting the finish button. What annoyed? I mean, what happens with these online things a lot of times, unfortunately, is that they get all bought up by bots. You know, I think it is a funny gag gift. So you wrap it up, they think they're getting a TV. They end up getting 65 boxes of mac and cheese. But can you guys, like, shout out to, like, you let me know. I actually think, I love the crapperoni, we call it crapperoni and cheese here. Like, the crappy mac and cheese boxes, I love those. I could eat them 4 days a week. Like mac and cheese with hot dogs, or if I have it, Spam. Mac and cheese and Spam, I could eat 3 or 4 days a week and never have a problem with it. Like, maybe it's just because how I grew up. But like, 65, I would feel like you need 65 boxes is probably only 2 rows, maybe. So they must have a huge styrofoam spacer in here. I noticed he didn't show that. My only disappointment is that it doesn't have like 400 boxes of mac and cheese in it. I guess if you really did fill it up with mac and cheese, people couldn't afford it. Because if it's like $3 or $4 a box, you know, it'd be like $1,000. It'd be the same price as an actual TV. It's definitely a white people thing. Absolutely. Walmart customers were left fuming after finding out the Kraft's new limited edition Mac Friday box had sold out in seconds. How much was it? Oh, here. It was only $20. It was only $20, the nod to the year that Kraft was founded. So that meant the boxes inside were only 30 cents each. So not only was it a cool gay gift, but it was actually fairly priced, 30 cents a box. So that's probably why people are pissed. That's actually a good deal. I don't know. I don't have any problem with regular crapperoni and cheese. But things are different now. Look at this chicken outrage. Look at this lady. This broad bought every chicken in the store at Walmart, Sam's Club. She bought every roasted chicken on Thanksgiving Eve. What a twat. Look at this lady. The chick took all the chicken. Look at all this roasted chicken she bought. How many people is she having over? Mexican lady. $50 says she probably owns a restaurant. She probably owns a restaurant. She probably owns a restaurant and she's reselling this. I mean, come on. Like, you should just... One of the things that frustrated me the most when I worked at Walmart is that you couldn't say anything. Like, there were people that came in and, like, I remember when the Xbox was the big Christmas item, the Xbox 360. And somehow some dickwad knew they had people like in the warehouse that would tip him off to when we got the Xboxes. And he would come into the store and he'd be like, I know you have 2 Xboxes, and I hadn't even put them out yet. And I know that he was just going to resell them anyway. So I would purposely be like, nah, we don't have them. And he's like, no, I know you have 2 in the back. I know you have 2. And I'm like, well, I haven't gotten to unloading them yet. So you're just going to have to wait. And then he would go over my head to the manager, and the manager would make me go back there and get them for him and sell them both, even though the guy was very obviously reselling them. Another Mexican guy, by the way. And I was like, dude, I know you're putting these on eBay for $700, so get bent. Like, I want somebody to buy them who actually wants to give this to their kid for Christmas. But no, my stupid manager, who was this ghetto guy who hated me for no reason whatsoever because I worked hard. I don't know. This ghetto black dude was like, man, go get him his Xboxes. And then what he would do is he would put them on flipping layaway, so he didn't even have to pay for them. He would take them and put $5 down on layaway, list them up on eBay, and then come and get them when he got the money. He was a real piece of ish. Now, the same woman was seen handing out these chickens to the homeless. So maybe based, okay? Maybe. Here she is, handing them out to the homeless. All right, I guess I don't care about that. Good for her. I want people to realize that wholesale clubs are meant to buy in bulk. Everyone was mad at this lady for no reason. She did it for the homeless without even using it for clout, unlike other influencers. Okay, that's it. All right, good for her. We'll finish with a good story on this Thanksgiving. Don't forget to check out sheathunderwear.com and their Black Friday sale. Link in the pinned comment. And we'll talk to you again real soon. So the comment, by the way, someone in the comments said, L.Y. Sander says, we need a Coffee Brand Coffee advent calendar. The Quartering Army has your back, Mr. Hamley. You're a creative, almighty, supreme, in name only. Let me tell you, we have one. There's only 500 available, but if you go to coffeebrandcoffee.com and you go to Christmas gifts, we have one right here. The 12 Days of Coffee. There's over 20 products inside. There's 8 coffees, 16 packs of coffee. There's 2 cocos, 2 chocolatey snacks, and more in here. It's all new for 2025. We also have this, and we have our Kona coffee comes shipped in a stocking. Promo code HOLIDAY10 to pick yours up today. And with that, I have to go outside in the 15-degree weather and walk my dogs. And maybe I'll come back later and we'll stream some video games and we'll finish decorating the tree and hang out. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Friday if I don't see you later. And Otherwise, if you don't see you later, we'll see you on Monday at 2 Eastern.